Welcome back.
So welcome back. So today we are going to make your basic white bread. It's going to be absolutely delicious white bread, just your standard, kind of like a Wonder Bread at the store, but without the preservatives and all that extra crap that makes it last forever. Super easy to make it in no time flat. I mean, the most time it takes is the actual rising part, which you can do whatever you want while it does its thing. All right, so before we get started, here's a little joke for you. What generation is Forrest Gump in? Gen A. Ha ha. All right, terrible. All right, so without further ado, let's get cooking. So to start, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 cups of lukewarm milk. We're about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. What we're going to do is we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of yeast to that, and then 1 teaspoon of sugar. The sugar is just to help activate the yeast. Once we added that all into the bowl, we're just going to give it a little whiskey business, and then we are going to let this sit to the side for about 10 minutes or until the mixture itself is nice and frothy. That means your yeast is activated and it is ready to go. Next, what we're going to do in the same mixer, we are going to combine 1/4 cup of melted butter, 1/2 cup of sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And we are going to mix this.
One tiny bit.
If your bread attachment hook can't reach the bottom like mine, just give it a little bit more whiskey business at the bottom there. Make sure it's nice and fine, and you are good to go. So once you have that all mixed up and your yeast mixture has been nice and frothed and it's ready to go, we're going to combine these both into the mixer and then just mix this up. Once you have that mixed up, what we're going to do is we're going to slowly add about 5 to 6 cups of flour. So we're going to add this in 3 different batches just to make it easier to mix up. So about 2 cups at a time. So once you get all your flour added, we're just going to let the mixer knead our dough for us. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes or until the dough itself has formed a nice dough ball that is semi-sticky. It passes the window pane test, so when I stretch out the dough, I can see through it and it doesn't necessarily fall apart. It's nice and stretchy, and when I poke it gently, the dough springs back. So once it passes all that, what we're going to do is we are going to take a bowl. We're going to oil the bottom of it, make sure the dough doesn't stick to it, with some olive oil.
I got him.
And then we are going to roll our ball up
Kind of sticky.
and just plop it in the bottom of the bowl.
Good.
Drop them. Then what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit and rise for about an hour or until the dough itself has doubled in size. At that time, we're going to take it out, and then we are going to give it some punches, knock all the air out of it, relieve that stress. Then we're going to take it out of the bowl, throw it on a lightly floured working surface, and then we are going to roll this into a nice long roll. So basically this is just the shape of our loaf. So once we get that nice and rolled out, what we're going to do is we're just going to split it up and put it into 2 different bread pans. Then we're going to slice the top of this. This is just for decoration purposes. You don't necessarily have to do it, it just looks cooler. And then we're going to let these rise again for about another hour or so, just so that they have expanded. Not necessarily quite doubled in size, but close. And at that point in time, what we're going to do is we are going to throw these into the oven at about 350 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes, or until the outside is a golden brown. And then when you knock on the bread itself, it sounds hollow inside, so you know it's done. All right, so there we have our basic white bread. So without further ado, let's get taste testing. Would you like a piece?
Dad, I want the whole thing.
You want the whole piece? Can I have a taste test?
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it is absolutely delicious. It is the perfect white bread. Really not much to say about it. It's nice and airy. It is kind of on the condenser side. Probably could have let it prove a little bit more, but it is, the taste is just phenomenal, and it is not too on the condensed side. It's just, I think it's absolutely perfect. So with that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.